Pray with me. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day. We thank you for this time together as free people, and we just ask for your guidance as we do the people's business. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. First item up is the consent agenda, which is approval of the December minutes, approval of the claims listed, as well as receipt of commissary report and same series transfer report. Second. Have a motion and a second. Is there any questions or discussion on that? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. Any public comment on any of the agenda items? Hearing none, we'll move on to election of the 2026 council officers, both president and vice president.
Yeah, given the fact that our present officers have done a great job, I would move that we retain the current officers, president and vice president, secretary. Second.
It's a questionable motion, but we'll have a motion in a second. All right, so we have a motion and a second, and the motions have, okay, let me back up. There's a motion to close the nominations. I guess let's vote on that first. We have a motion and a second. Was there a second to close the nominations? Yes. Okay. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, now to the nominations for myself as president and Joyce Continue as vice president. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? I held my tongue, so. All right, thank you. I appreciate your questionable competence. Appointments. These are the appointment list that the council has every year. Are we doing the engagement letter later? Is that okay? Dan Taylor as our council attorney. We got to do nomination or motions on these, or okay. Okay. I'll just read through all these all at once, then we'll do them all as one batch here since they're all consistent. Solid Waste District, Matt is on that. The Plan Commission, Steve. The Alcoholic Beverage Commission is Dave Long. The RDC, Gary Booth and Brad Mons. The Sewer District is Joyce and Mike Warren. The Board of Zoning Appeals is a mistake. That doesn't actually end until this year, so that'll be on next year's agenda. So disregard that one. The Property Tax Board of Appeals is John Downey, Lindsay Hampton, and Patricia Ritchie. The Economic Development Commission is myself, Mike Warren, and Jessica Bockhart. Economic Development Authority is the council president and council vice president. And then the CCC Governing Board is the council president. Is there any questions or concerns on any of those? I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
I move that we accept the appointments as stated.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion or questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? And then our liaisons, I guess I'll ask you all, are you everybody happy with your current appointments, or want any changes or concerns? It seems to be working out pretty well. We've gotten good information. So Highway, Sheriff, EMS, Coroner, and Triple C is Gary. Health Department is Brett. Soil and Water, Joyce. Commissioners, Mapping, Building, Surveyor, Steve. Clerks, Judges, Probation, Prosecutor, myself and Joyce. Assessor, Auditor, Recorder, and Treasurer, Matt. And Welfare League is Brett. IT, Mike. We don't have a budget committee. Internal Controls Committee, Steve. Risk Management, Steve. Tax Abatement Committee, Gary and Matt. And the HIPAA compliance is Joyce.
I didn't put compensation committee. I wasn't sure if there was one anymore. I was a little confused about that one in the budget, so if it needs to be added, there you go.
Yeah, it's kind of been a de facto committee, I guess, if you will. All right, 2026 Council Home Rule, authority to approve transfers within the same series. What? Authority to approve transfers within the same series in the 2026 budget. There's an explanation there underneath. Got any questions about that? I'll entertain a motion on that. Yes, it'd be the same as last year, with the exception of the 1000 series. Yeah. A motion is second. Is there any questions or discussion on that? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? And then authority to sign the 2026 Drainage Board reconstruction loans. This is just something that when the Drainage Board does their loans and then sometimes refinances loans, we have to sign those to give them the authority to do that. I'll entertain a motion on that. Have a motion and a second. Is there any questions or discussion on that? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Okay, a couple additional appropriations. Sheriff Needham first.
Good morning. With the makers that we implemented last year, Major McCarty's salary was changed when we did that. When the budget sheets came out, I didn't pay close enough attention to it. So when the final numbers came out for this year's budget and the percentages were listed with each employee, I just noticed the match was at 2 and not 3%. So that's all this is. It's a 1%, the $13.79 to up his pay increase for this year to 3%.
Any questions for the sheriff?
We did pretty good.
Have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Thank you.
Madam Clerk.
That's what we should have.
Good morning. Good morning. Visiting the perpetuation fund again, and I failed to get this into my budget for my part-time employee. I do want to report that we have been able to get 20,000 of our marriage license into the digital portal, accessible to your fingertips at this point. We have about 80,000 more of those to go. I think we can probably get those in the next 2 years for sure, get those knocked out. As well as we've reduced the number of files downstairs. I think we had 4 rooms when I started, we're down to 3 rooms. And we'll keep working on that, but I do need to use the perpetuation fund to continue to fund my part-time employee that is doing such an amazing job at that work, so I ask you to give me permission for that.
Okay.
Motion to approve. Second.
A motion and a second. Any other questions for the clerk?
And this is just what we did.
Yes, it's the exact same thing we did last year.
Can you say a couple more years of doing this, what your plan is, or do you think you have most of this taken care of in a few more years?
Yes. Yes, that will be next year.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And then moving on to transfers. Sheriff's back up.
We just need to move money from Clarence Myers. He was our processor for 36, almost 37 years. September, October of last year, you guys gave me some additional funding to hire a second process server to basically learn the job before Larry retired. Since he did retire on 31st of December. So we just need to move money from his pay line to the new process server's pay line.
Motion approved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any other questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
And similar to what we did last year with part-time employee in my office, I failed to split those into two different positions for my, I think it's 11,600 fund. So I need to split those again, part-time positions. One of those will actually be helping us with our website maintenance that is going to have to take place by the end of the year, so.
No new money, just splitting.
Just splitting, yeah.
Move approval.
A motion and a second. Any questions for Sonia? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you. And then the last one, I spoke with the coroner yesterday, and maybe Mindy can clarify a little bit, but his intent was to spend some money out of the 25 budget to restock his disaster pouches or body bags supply, and then that couldn't be done out of the funds. He wanted it done in more or less. Is that accurate?
Semi, yes, yeah. He was wanting to buy body bags out of a 3000 series, which is a service line, and it needs to be out of a 2000 series.
Okay.
So, the only money he had was in a 3000 series in 2025, so we can't encumber that for a 2000 series expenditure. So, he is transferring his 2026 autopsy fees to supplies line so he can purchase those body bags for 2026, and then he will most likely be coming to you to replace that money in the autopsy fee line.
Okay. Like I said, his intent was to do that with 25 money. Obviously, we used to pay for the body bags out of the autopsy fund because they're required, but, so yeah, he will be coming back with more money at some point, but he left the money there in 25 with the intent to try to get ahead of the game, buying the supplies for this coming year. It just didn't work out timing wise, so I just want to make the council aware of that. He was a little upset about that, but it is what it is, so we'll just have to take that under advisement when he comes back. He will most likely come back if things continue the way they are for more money in the autopsy fund, but it's a necessary expense, unfortunately.
So what happens to the 2025 funds that were not used?
It just stay there. Yeah,
Just go back to the
yeah.
Back to general? Okay.
But I just want to make you aware when he comes back earlier, probably earlier than usual, this is the reason why.
Move to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any other questions on that? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And then encumbering appropriations. These on the one there, one batch. Okay. If it's okay with the council, I'll just read through these and we do them all as one giant deal. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. Like I say, encumbrances are obviously invoices that were done last year to pay out of last year's budget. As you can read through these, Superior Court has some equipment repairs, EMH has some phone, Circuit Court, furniture and fixtures, treasurer, mileage, emergency management, utilities, sheriff's department, ammunition, health department, several there under educational, office supplies, software, training, education, repairs, dues and subscription, as well as equipment. Is that everybody? So the total 10,802.69 is the amount being encumbered out of the 25 budget to pay 26. I'll entertain a motion on those.
Move to approve.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any questions or discussion on any of those? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? All right. Moving on to new business, resolutions, and Dan will help me out with these. 2026-1, the Sheriff's Compensation Agreement.
Yes, we have a contract model for the sheriff's compensation, which means you establish his salary rather than his salary being determined in the old way where he kept certain parts of certain collection fees or meal money. And so each year, both you and the commissioners and the sheriff have to sign an agreement reiterating that that's what you're doing. And so this is the 26th version. You do this every year. You're required to. I'd be happy to answer any questions. It has been. It was approved yesterday, and it's also been signed by the sheriff.
Have a motion and a second to approve Resolution 2026-1. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? All right. And then Resolution 2026-2, approving the attorney engagement letter. Since we already hired him, we guess we got to approve the contract.
Yeah, this letter really has two important features. One just says that what the hourly rate is. That is $255, which is $10 or 4% higher than last year. And then Brett Kading made me say that you can fire me at any time, which is also true.
We got to go back and reassess whether we wanted to keep you as attorneys now that we know what it's going to cost us.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, we did kind of do that in the backwards, didn't we?
Yeah, you're free to, do it today.
Have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? All right, and then 2026-3, the commissary fund.
You are familiar with the commissary fund. You receive reports on it, but each year you are required under statute to approve the types of expenditures which the sheriff can make from commissary. You'll see those on Exhibit A, and these are what is allowed by law. And of course, as you can see, this saves the county a lot of money by doing it this way, and this is how commissary should be spent. This resolution just reaffirms your authority for the sheriff to do so.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other questions about the?
I think the sheriff's department's done a good job with this program, these funds.
I agree with that. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? And then we don't have a copy of 2026-4, the council meeting schedule, which we agreed to in December.
Yeah, this is just a vote to reaffirm what you said in December, that your meetings be the same time, place, and dates.
Move to approve.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion on that? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Okay, amending the compensation plan for Highway Department. Jake?
When the compensation committee, or WIS, came back with the levels for the highway department, actually they put in levels for the highway department, which hadn't been done before. There was a little confusion between Jake's department and my department. He's hiring them everyone in at level 1 pay, with an expectation to go to level 2 by the end of year 1. But he was not hiring them in at a higher rate based on years of experience, and we weren't questioning that because they were also getting their longevity. And if we go by the levels and give them longevity, then we're kind of double paying them for that experience. Jake came to me and wanted to know if we could remove those levels. I have no problem because it's essentially what we're doing right now. So Jake would just like to go back to no levels, starting everyone at the same pay, and our office is completely fine with that. And continue with longevity
Yes.
pay.
A motion and a second. Is there any other discussion or questions for Jake or Tom or Mindy or?
Just a question, how you doing on drivers?
So I had 4 openings. I filled 1. Hopefully I'm gonna fill the other 3 by the end of the week.
Okay,
All of a sudden, we got a bunch of applicants in and they were really good, so.
okay, good.
Deal.
So hopefully we'll be fully staffed right before the snow, or if it don't snow, I'm okay with that too. Yes, one of the 3. Yep.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Thanks, Jake. Moving on to old business, ordinance 2025-7, the final reading of the investment policy.
Yes, every 4 years you have to adopt an investment policy. You've had one for a long time. This year, the legislature made one change, and that change is on page 8 of your ordinance, number 14, a limitation on final maturity. So your policy would remain the same except for this. Of course, it's required by law that we limit any maturity date to not more than 4 years. That's what the state legislature has said. As you will recall, the purpose of the investment policy and the requirement that we have one is so that our money is invested in a way where we don't become Orange County, California and go bankrupt. So no junk bonds, basically, is what it started out to be, and now it's grown into this big policy. And so the legislature tweaks it every once in a while. So these changes would bring your investment policy into compliance. This is second reading.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion on ordinance 2025-7.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Is there any other questions or discussion for Dan?
I'd just like to comment that Heather's done a great job investing our money. We picked up another $2 million this past year, so just want to say good job to her.
I would agree with that. Any other comments? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, moving on to any funded organizations. Any department heads have anything to say? Just gonna sit there and stare at me. Any elected officials?
I'll go.
Go ahead.
Just a quick note, we have, we estimated finishing the year in county general at 11.6, and we actually ended at 12.2. I'll get final numbers to you. We're gonna start on the AFR here shortly, so we'll get final numbers to you on everything. Hopefully, we'll have something solid at the February meeting. But we did end about 600,000 higher than we expected and, or estimated in county general, so it's good news.
Okay.
I'm sorry, the AFR is the annual financial report that we have to do every year. So,
Tom, you have anything? You quiet this one? Okay. All right, Mr. Hoosier, let's hear it. What you got? Matt?
Nope, just thank you for the great year, and let's start off 2026 with another good year.
Go Hoosiers.
I think we should limit the Brett's time at the mic.
I agree.
But we put a cutoff switch down here, I can cut him off if we need to, yeah. Gary, you got anything? Joyce?
Thank you for the vote to continue as vice president, and like Matt said, looking forward to working with all of you to move the county forward. And Brett, just, with all the NIL money that you
And I too want to thank the council for your continued trust. I do appreciate it. We'll keep moving forward, and as a Purdue guy, I am excited to watch the IU football game. It's been quite a run and fun to watch, but thank you to all the county employees, you know, for, like I say, we're heading into a new year and look forward to what this year brings. Hopefully we don't have too many road bumps, but we'll figure them out as we go. I think that's, is there any public comment? Sorry, almost missed a line there. Next regular meeting, February 10th, 9 a.m. right here. Entertain a motion to adjourn.